All right, so episode 7 of The Defenders.
It happened.
That was pretty damn good.
Good things happened.
Good things happened. We got arrested. We broke out of
Got
jail.
arrested. We broke out of the jail. Got unarrested. We almost got arrested again.
Got in a fight with our orange fist. Got redirected to open a wall.
Yeah.
Got inside a dragon.
That was dumb because I either said out loud or I thought, like, does she think beating him up will open the door? Like, that's the opposite of what is good. How is this going to work?
I saw it from a mile
No,
away.
I know. I hate that
I
happened,
was
though.
like, yep, he's going to punch with his iron fist. She's
Yeah.
going to redirect it. It's going to open the door. And then it opened the door.
Because
and I was like, yep.
he's like, fist on, and then you say out loud, stop swinging that fist around. She's gonna redirect it into the fucking gate, and then she's just like does it, and it's
Yep.
like, God damn it, fuck.
It was easily telegraphed, but you knew it was
No,
gonna
but
happen.
that sucks. I don't like that thing happening.
I don't like when bad things happen either, but
Because he could have just like meditated down there, and like she like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, because she couldn't, she needs him to be the key.
Yeah,
So
she couldn't
if he
force
would've
him to open the
never
door.
Iron-fisted.
Yeah.
She could have just beaten him to a bloody pulp, and it still would have been fine. But,
Well, I'm saying, like, do you want to maybe beat her and like risk her, like her plan working out, or do you want to
Yeah.
maybe not beat her but like have her plan impossible to work out, and your friends are on the way, and like the people even in her organization don't even like her because right, all this fucking shit. So maybe just
Yep.
leave the fist, maybe go like half fist, just a pinky, just do like a little bit.
kills my life.
I don't know.
The
I'm like,
whole
fuck.
thing.
But that kind of fits with Danny's character. He's kind of dumb.
He's a hot-headed
he's kind of
idiot
dense.
for a monk. But that's
Well,
been a trend with his character.
Yeah, he's
so
left that behind, and now he's this like boy dealing with stuff.
Yeah. So we got Daredevil back in the suit. That's
Oh,
always
shit.
cool. I like the suit. You pointed out it's humorous that he's the only one that has
Well,
like, a costume.
yeah. I mean, and you countered with like, well, he's the only one with like a secret identity, kind of, and it's kind of like, well, yeah. So like, I don't know, right? But it's just funny and like Jessica Jones keeps making faces, like there it is again, like he's in the fucking suit, and then he's like, oh, pretty dope in this suit, and the rest of them are just like,
He really does.
all right, I'm just gonna wear my other coat because my coats keep getting fucked because I don't wear a fucking suit.
Yeah.
I would have thought, like, I know their suits are goofy, or they don't have suits, or they have new suits, or old suits, or barely a suit. Some of these characters, but like, Daredevil's suit maker didn't die, right?
No.
So I think,
He could make them suits.
or not even really suits, but like, okay,
Combat functioning attire.
right, like this is a flame, and like stab resistant tank top for Luke Cage to wear when he's in battle. So when everything else gets like fucked off him, he's still wearing that, right? Just like, okay,
It would be a little
this
nicer.
is my uniform or whatever. So I'm not just like randomly. His clothes are like worse than the Hulk, because everything's constantly getting fucked off of him because he can just stand there.
But his costume was kind of like bullet soaked, like hoodie.
Yeah. Well, that's his, that's his, as the kids say, his aesthetic or whatever.
Yeah.
His bullet hole,
Gotta get some
riddled
aesthetics.
hoodie or whatever.
What else happens in this episode? So
Before we
had
forget, we
Sure.
should say, so Danny ends up falling through that gate and there's a giant skeleton of a dragon amidst like
Yeah.
a fucking obsidian asteroid or something like that.
something along those lines. Yeah.
When he first woke up and it's just dark and wet, my first thought was earlier when Sigourney Weaver's talking to Elektra, she says, like, you've seen that place, like, beyond, death and all that, where it's just dark and endless and hopeless, and I've seen it too. I never want to see it again. So I thought that's where he, like, went to, because that's where you have to, like, go to, like, get the substance or something like that. But then they zoom out, and then, like, you're seeing, like, rib cages and weird
I
shit,
was like,
right?
oh, he's in a whale.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the fuck? And then it keeps zooming out. Yeah, and it's a giant dragon that's in a rock or something. I don't know.
We found it. We found the dragon.
I guess Kunlun and the dragon, and that's how the Iron Fist got his powers, so it makes sense that the substance, if it's a Kunlun thing, would be from the dragon's
sense.
thing.
I don't hate it.
Maybe it's like oil, but it's from the bones of a very specific dead dinosaur with magical powers.
Stupider things have happened.
Oh, that's just the right amount of stupid, I think. I think that's it. We'll see, though.
I liked when we had our heroes square off against the remaining fingers of the hand, 3-on-3 style. There's a
That-
big thing of bricks, and I'm like, do you think she's gonna shoot those bricks? And like 1
Well,
second later, whee,
I
shoot
said
the
a hope.
bricks.
I said I hope not, because I pictured like a Dark Tower situation
Or like,
where she's like doing individual bricks and some weird shit and looks all horrible or something like that.
Uh-huh.
All right, just bricks at him. But then like no, it was she just sent the whole thing there, and he or she like kicks it back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, and then she like fucking does the thing.
Dissipates it a little bit.
There was some dope shit. It's like a Gao heavy thing, and she got up close and personal, and like Gao was 2v1ing and Daredevil's 2v1ing, because his suit is like cut resistant. So like the guys with swords and clubs, he's fucking like, and doing those kicks where like they both kick, and like he like kind of like just like pushes their like leg back down and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so badass.
Now, he's
I
a
love
boss.
that shit.
But it also shows how big of a boss Gao is. That
Yeah.
like, she needs two of the most powerful ones to fight her.
Yeah, I think this too, because we were just talking about like the interesting, like this fight was because like 3v3. I'm like, I wonder who's gonna get who, and then they're gonna fight, and it's gonna be like makes everything makes sense. But then it was 2v1s, and I fucking love that because we talked earlier about like technique versus powers, and like well. It's like fighting out of your weight class, where it's like, well, all these weird bends and moves and like whatever's, but he can just like you just hit him and nothing happens, and he just grabs, he like gets his mitts on you. There's nothing you can do or whatever. But this was great, where like, because she has this tremendous weird like magical power and all this technique and experience. So they're doing shit and lunging and doing stuff, and she's just like doing her fucking things.
They can take the punches,
fucking
and
awesome.
then they just like hit her.
Yeah. Oh, and like handing off the pipe and just ding, and she just again the way she ragdolls. They never show her landing because I think it would be so unbelievable that she can never get back up. Because she's like,
she's an old woman.
she's like someone from Golden Girls getting like knocked across the room. Oh, amazing though.
It's wonderful. That was very good. The police proving to be a little like, I don't know, annoying in this episode.
Some back and forth, right?
Where it's like, what do you even think you can do? I understand we can't explain to you the full extent of what's happening, but this is above your weight class. And they know you have superpowers because he at one point says, "I'm gonna lock you in a cage with two superpowered beings."
Right.
Like, let them do their job.
So this is the thing. I really wonder what it would be like if there were real superpower people, because this is the narrative that gets put forth in every like fake thing, because I think maybe it's logical, but I really don't know how people would like respond. Because right now, if like one mob group and one gang are like fighting, the police like do their job, but sometimes they kind of stay out of it and they go, I don't know, let Capelli get taken out by the by the whoever's, and then it'll be better or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, or like there's streets where the thing goes off and like, well, if we go down there, we're just gonna get shot. Like, what the fuck do we, like we can't do? And that's just with normal people with AKs or something like that, right? So if you have bulletproof people, and again, they'd probably not admit it or say it, or there'd be weird fucking things, right? But like at a certain point, like if like a riot, if like a protest gets out of hand, you're like calling the National Guard, and this is like we have 5 to super people just fighting in our city, and tonight seems to be like a big event.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Hey, how dare you? I got a clipboard and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, bro.
It certainly would be an interesting outcome. I have to believe that there would be a task force, and they would immediately be recruiting. Like, they would know about the supers before we ever knew about supers.
Yeah,
There'd
right.
be a team of them. They'd have, like, people training since, like, World War I, like, with gases and things that could kill anything.
All right, and like weird, like...
They'd probably be killing more often than not.
Because, like,
You can't risk that one just wants to get the president or something,
Well, and that was the whole thing with X-Men that I liked a lot, because, like, the, like, evil senator gives a very logical thing in front of the Senate in that, where he's like, we restrict guns, we restrict cars, we restrict all these things. This kid, with his powers, he's a deadly weapon. Like, we can't just let him walk around, go to school with your kids, walk down the street next to you and your stuff, right? So I was like, oh.
It does make sense.
I know, but,
And, those are very fantastical powers in the X-Men universe. Not that there aren't some crazy powers.
These are a bit
in
more
this one,
grounded, yeah.
There's a lot more of them too. There will be more coming, I imagine, in this world.
Yeah, and there's a fine like gamut here. No one's like flying around and being crazy. It's pretty like.
It's low key by comparison, yes.
Yeah.
All passably human too.
Yeah, no tentacle monsters or blue skinned people. Weird.
No, not as of yet.
No bird people, but no, so everything's coming to a head.
Now we have one episode left. It's going to be all action, I imagine, and pretty
Yeah,
badass.
the shit's happening. So we should say, like, right? They're in the building. They have explosives. The cops are on the way.
This fucking thing down. The cops are
trying
all
to blow
outside,
up the building.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can't get into that one door, but they're probably gonna order the dude with the saw or the fucking torch or whatever and get in or somehow or whatever.
Sure.
So we can have like your 3-way thing.
And there's probably more than one entrance.
I mean, I'm assuming that Luke Cage bending that bar keeps everyone out of everything forever, for as long as they need to or whatever the fuck. So I don't know. I don't know if they split up and Colleen and someone else goes and like plants the bombs.
I would imagine the humans that have no powers are spreading bombs.
So it's Claire and Colleen.
Then
the rest of them go down to fight Elektra. They're like, "Where's Danny?" And she's like, "It's too late." Oh, I know this shit happens.
Well, it won't even be just Elektra because
they will go with her.
Got away too. They're probably down there, or did they scatter the wind? Probably not. They probably went down.
I would hope so. If they just leave, that would be very disappointing. But yeah. There were good fights this episode. I'm kind of tapped out on fights. I don't know how they can ratchet it up and make it that much better, but
ratcheted.
I'm hoping.
It's gonna get ratchet.
Is there anything else you could think of from this episode?
No, this episode was more straightforward than most. Where I don't have a lot to say, I just want to see the finale.
Yeah, I like that the plus ones at the police station did their thing, and now like those who are still there, and the conflict has moved away, and no one's even like, I'm trying to get at your loved ones, right? We're already at the gate. We've opened it. We're underground. We're fighting in superhero land.
Yeah, let's just get right to it.
I dig it.
Season finale coming up next, guys. Don't Die in a Fire, and let us know what you think about this show so far. We'll see you soon.